So you might be asking, how can I act cold to get the respect I want, to get over those individuals that have hurt you in the past and prevent other individuals to hurt you in the future, and on top of that help you to achieve your long-term goals? Well, if any of those things interest you, this is the right video for you, because in this video I'm gonna go over how to act cold and achieve those objectives. If you're someone that is new to this channel and you really appreciate content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button and help your brother out. Anyways, with that said, let's jump into the video. Number 1. Act expressionless. So what do I mean by this? Because I'm not telling you to be completely emotionless, but all I'm saying is that if you're gonna show emotions, be sure that you don't show too much of them. Reduce the amount of emotions that you show to other individuals. So instead of smiling, try to smirk, because a cold person is someone that likes to reserve themselves for themselves rather than to showcase them for the rest of the world. So if you want to be a cold person, try to reserve your emotions, and if you decide to show your emotions, try to minimize it. Number 2, the cold look. So what do I mean by the cold look? Because let's be honest, what is even a cold look? Well, in my book, the cold look is someone that can master the communication of their eyes. And this cold look is implemented by having that cold eye look. And I'm sure you guys would love to see an example, and therefore, why not show it on the screen myself now? So therefore, as I'm close to the screen right now, you can see my eyes, and thus, if I tweeze them a little bit, this is more of the cold look. Because as you can see, I look a bit more intimidating and at the same time, give across those cold vibes. And when it comes to this cold look, you don't want to tweeze your eyes too much, because that will get rid of the effect. Number 3, cold body language. So I've just mentioned the eyes, but what about the rest of your body? Because the truth is, if you're someone that wants to come across as a cold person, you need to portray it. And you don't only do it with your eyes or your communication skills, but you also do it with your own body language. And the way you do it when it comes to your body language is that you're not afraid at all to show that you're someone that is a cold person. And thus, you stand up straight. You take up enough space for yourself, not to try to come across as someone that's extremely dominant, but just to show that, hey, I respect my own time and I respect myself, and thus I don't really care about your opinion, and I'm gonna take as much space for myself as I want. But do you remember that actions speak louder than words, and therefore don't be someone that's extremely silly and is gonna take all of the room in the space available, but try to actually take enough for yourself while still keeping enough for others. And another thing about cold body language is that a person that has cold body language doesn't necessarily move a lot, because they know their value and don't necessarily feel intimidated, just like a lot of other individuals. Because the truth about body language is that if someone feels intimidated, they start to shake a little bit, start to move quite a lot, and thus, if you're someone that wants to come across as a cold person, you don't do this. Number 4, don't talk too much about yourself. So when it comes to you being a cold person, you don't want to show too much about yourself, because you don't really care whether other individuals know about you or not. All you want is the straight facts, so you get what you need to conquer your goals and move on. And I understand that in a lot of scenarios you do have to talk about yourself, because otherwise the social interactions feels too forced, which makes it a bit harder to get the information or generally the objective that you want to achieve. In that particular scenario, you try to minimize how much you talk about yourself, because this way you'll come across as a cold person, which leaves the other individual more interested in you. Number 5, don't ask too many questions. So this is a general thing when it comes to a lot of individuals, but it is especially important if you want to be a cold person. Because the thing about us asking questions is that when you initially start to meet new individuals, well, basically means that we're constantly asking questions such as, hey, what's your name? How old are you? What's your job? What are you doing today? What are you gonna do next? And so forth. But the thing about this is that a lot of individuals will find it extremely boring, and a lot of times it comes across as very forceful rather than a natural conversation. So if you want to get something out of the other individual, a lot of times it's better to actually make statements rather than asking questions. So instead of asking a question such as, what is your job? You can make a statement. For example, you look like a police officer because of the intimidating look that you give to me. And whether the statement is right or wrong doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, the other individual will try to correct you, and in the case that you actually are correct, it's an ego boost. Number 6, avoid repeating yourself. So when it comes to being a cold person, it's very important that you're not someone that's constantly repeating yourself. Be loud and clear, and this way the other individual can understand you, rather than being someone that's mumbling or trying to avoid other individuals to hear what you're saying. Because you're a cold person and you don't care about other individuals' opinion, and thus whether they hear what you're talking about or not doesn't really matter to you. Because another thing that a lot of individuals don't talk about is that when you're someone that's loud and clear and the other individual can hear you, you can actually see how invested they are in you. Because if they're not fully paying attention and are saying, wait, what did you say? Can you repeat the question or the statement again? This actually does give you a good indication as to how interested they are in the conversation. Number 7, outwork others. So when it comes to be a cold person, you can't expect others to respect you if you're not someone that's willing to put in the work, is trying to outwork others and are trying to conquer your goals. Because if you're someone that's being a cold person without trying to outwork others and trying to work really hard, most of the times you will actually come across as someone that's very arrogant. But the way we as individuals work is that we see that someone is working really hard, they put in the work, we feel like that it's more okay for them to act like a cold person, and you will see that those individuals will start to respect you more. Because if other individuals feel like that you're better at them in a particular thing, what they are interested in when it comes to your friendly relationship, they will have an incentive to be around you because they look up to you. And thus, if you're someone that actually acts a bit more cold, they will respect you and actually understand why you're being this way. While on the other hand, if they actually look down upon you in that particular field, unfortunately, they will see you as a loser, a rude person, and generally don't want to hang around with you anymore. So number 7 is the most important step. Outwork others. Because if you're someone that's outworking other individuals, you can do whatever you want and individuals will still respect you. So please like the video for the YouTube algorithm and consider to hit the subscribe button if you found this video informational. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day and I'll see you on my next video. Bye bye.